Boom, I'm in a room. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Now, this is, I'm coming to you I'm coming to you from the Old Heale Manor, and I'm your host, Lord Heale. Now, I'm going to cover some stuff this afternoon that's happened over the last week. Now, last Friday, Tommy Robinson, he was arrested and charged under the Terrorism Act, or arrested under the Terrorism Act. I don't know whether he's actually charged or not, but he's had a pretty rough time of it. So he was detained over the weekend, so he missed the march. And I was at the march. Now, I did a little bit of filming, and you can see the link in the description of the full what's the name that I did. But this is just a snippet of the crowd that's coming past. Now, I stood there right at the front, and as they came past for 26 minutes, this is the scene that I had. Now, if you take that, say roughly about 1,000 people a minute past me, there's somewhere around about 250,000 people. And the call went up, look, patriots, thousands of them. But in the meantime, on Monday, Tommy Robinson was in court. He was charged with contempt of court and sentenced to 18 months to serve 9. Now, a lot went on in those first couple of days. He was first put into Belmarsh prison, and there was all sorts of concerns coming out that he was going to be put onto general population. He was going to be put down the cell in the what effectively would be a dungeon with no amenities or anything like that, no bed, and only a bucket, in solitary confinement. I think it was yesterday he was moved to HM Prison Wood Heale up in Milton Keynes. Incidentally, that was the prison that he was in once before, where he was done over by a load of Islamic inmates. A gang attacked him and knocked his teeth out and all sorts. So he's in there. So now that there were even more fears for his safety. So that's Tommy's story so far. So we're waiting for more updates to come out on his well-being. Now, I did a piece on Wednesday, what I thought would be his challenges for his mental well-being while he's in solitary confinement. What must be going through his mind at the moment if he's put into a general population. It's a real worry, and I'm sure his supporters are really concerned. Now, Alex Phillips interviewed him a little while ago, and she's put it up on her own channel. That's hashtag that Phillips woman, I think it's called. Go and check it out if you can. I'll see if I can put a link in to subscribe to her channel. Anyway, moving on. The budget. Are you starting to feel the pinch? Has it started to affect you yet? Now, it wasn't a good budget by any stretch of the imagination. And I've seen some things saying that it was even worse than Liz Truss's mini budget. Now, yeah, you couldn't make this stuff up. Now, for most of us, it's going to mean more tax. And for some, it's going to mean losing their livelihoods. Now, I was talking to a business owner the other day, and he was saying that if they put up employers' national insurance contributions, he would have to lay off some staff. He couldn't afford to keep going. They're operating on struggling at the moment. So I think that there are going to be people laid off. He was also saying that he has several properties and he would likely have to sell those and put 15 people out on the street. This is the effect of this budget. Now, farmers. Now, the farmers are the ones, particularly family farms, that have been run by families for centuries. They're the ones at most likelihood of being affected by this, what's the name on capital gains, the £1 million capital gains. Now, we all know that land is at a premium and the cost of land and all the rest of it. And farms, most sort of small to medium-sized farms would fall over that threshold of effectively £1 million. The upshot of that is that families won't be able to hand down their farms, and what would happen is that they had to sell part of the farm or the whole farm to pay the inheritance tax. What is she thinking? Now, it might be an ulterior motive that she wants that to happen. She wants farms to go out of business. And for why? So they can buy the land up cheap and put solar panels on it. Or wind farms. Do you think that's their thinking? Do you think that's behind it? What she hasn't taken into account is that no farmers, no food, no future. The fact that we're having to import a huge amount of our food at the moment, I mean, the fact that our population is growing means that we need more food production, not less. She hasn't got a Scooby, has she? Let's face it. Yeah, it's not a good budget for anybody. Everybody's going to be affected by it. Now, she confirmed that the bus fare, a £2 bus fare, is now going to go up to £3. I was talking to a nurse the other day, and she was saying it's going to cost her another £40 a month just to get to work. Is that right? I mean, the next thing I guess that they'll probably look at is, I know that it's been mooted that they'll look at the free bus pass for pensioners. They're already hitting pensioners by taking away their winter fuel allowance, and the price of fuel's going up. The price of your energy's going up. Yeah. So she hit fuel again. So, yeah, life's going to get expensive for everybody. It's already bad enough, but it's going to get worse. Not a good budget. Anyway, let's move on. The Conservatives have now elected their new leader, Kemi Badenoch, however you best pronounce it. For me, makes no difference. However, I'm not sure that she's the right person. I don't know. I don't care, actually. However, if by some miracle she pulls the party together and they start clawing the way back, if they ever actually get into power, she said that she won't scrap the ECHR. Anyway, that's time will tell. Let's see how she gets on at PMQs and what she can do with the party. However, Reform are starting to make some inroads into local elections. Bilston North, which is Wolverhampton, had a council by-election the other day. Look at that. Reform won the seat with 34.8% of the vote. They're up plus 34.8%. Labour are down minus 38%. And nobody else is anywhere close. So Reform are on the march. It's starting to happen. Now, I know Richard Tice said some daft things with Camilla Tomerley the other day. Unguarded words. Perhaps he should have rephrased it somewhat. And that's lost them a bit of support with the Tommy supporters. But I would say stick with Reform. It's our best hope of ever having any chance of whatsoever of getting out of this mess. Moving on. Now, esteemed, or should I say inept, Home Secretary Calamity Cooper. She is A, unfit for purpose, B, way out of her depth. And you've got to ask this question. This question has to be asked. When did she know about this little angelic boy from Wales? Yeah, that one. The one that stabbed and killed the 3 little girls in Southport and injured quite a few others at the same time. When did she actually know about the ricin and the Al-Qaeda training manual? I would surmise that she knew fairly quickly. Within hours, in fact. Yet they carried on the bloody charade, didn't they? What should happen is this guy, Wayne O'Rourke, should be released from prison immediately. It wasn't misinformation. He was correct in calling him an Islamic terrorist. He's been charged with terrorism. Will they release him? Let's find out. Let's see how soon they come to the light and release him. Meanwhile, Ricky Jones, Mike Amesbury, and these 2 thugs from the Manchester airport incident still haven't been brought to justice. Still haven't been charged. There is video evidence against these buggers. Incontrovertible evidence. Why have they not been charged and sentenced? I'm asking that question. They were very, very quick to set up 24-hour courts for people posting stuff on social media. But real criminals are letting out of jail to make space for somebody that's put something on Twitter or Facebook. Yet these 4 are still at large and haven't been charged. Just beggars belief. It really does. And the boats are still coming. We're getting close to 30,000 already this year. Okay, we've had a little bit of calm weather recently, but since Starmer took over, the numbers have escalated. They just keep coming. And as for smashing the gangs, they've done bugger all. And another broken promise. Another one of Labour's manifesto broken promises. They're still housing these buggers in hotels. You couldn't make it up. This is how useless they are. Look at them. There they are. The Labour front bench. Not a single one of them has run a business. Not a single one of them is any good. They've all been on the take. They've all had their head in the till. Well, not quite. They've all been handed stuff by old Lord Heale. What's he want? You don't give people something for nothing. And the amount of money that he's thrown at this little pile, well, what do you think his ulterior motive is? Not a single one of them is fit for purpose. Every single one of them, way out of their depth. They're going from one catastrophe to the next. And they've had to redraw the graph for Starmer's popularity readings. He was sat at minus 38. He's gone from +5 to minus 38 in 100 days. He is, without doubt, the worst Prime Minister we have ever had. Move on. I was at Portsmouth Guildhall Square. There was a rally and a counter-protest. And this is the left lot. Now, have a look. There's Unite, Unison and the RMT. The unions are supporting the anti-British lot. They want to... Now, I find it weird. They call themselves the Socialist Workers' Party, who are sponsoring this lot. But if my history serves me right, back in the 20s, 100 years ago, there was the National Socialist Party in Germany. Did I say any more? They were fascists. They were Nazis. They were racists. Now, if you have a look, they're calling this lot, this is Unite the Kingdom, enough is enough. There's a bit of diversity in there. These are just proud patriots. Now, the leader of UKIP, Nick Tenconi, came along to lend his support to him yesterday. So, yeah. So these are the far-right fascist thugs that... yeah. They just look like a bunch of concerned citizens. And I don't believe they're far-right, they're just right. Anyway, something I came across that I found a little bit more disturbing was this. This young lady was arrested by the morality police at Tehran University. In protest, she decided to take her clothes off down to her skimpies, and then she was rearrested. And her whereabouts aren't known. Now, it's suspected that she's been murdered for a crime of not wearing a hijab. Now, I've got a question. Do you want this sort of thing in this country? Do you want the morality police running this country? Do you want Sharia law in this country? Personally, I don't. Oh. So, that's my tuppence halfpenny's worth for this week. Looking forward to next week. Oh, we've got see what happens next week. If this week's anything to go by, God blimey, we've got some stuff coming towards us. Now, if it's your first time here and you've managed to last this long, give us a smash on the like button. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And stick your comments in. I'd love to know what you think. Whether you think I'm right, whether you think I'm wrong. I'm open for a discussion where the far left ain't. So until I come back from the Old Heale Manor next week, this is Lord Heale wishing you another fantastic week, and let's see what unfolds in the news and what happens to our lives. So until then, TTFN. Ta-da for now.